Greek sauce, and then the Bucks force a turnover on the other end. Giannis throws it down for 64 points. So after the game, chaos ensued, though, because that ball was very highly coveted, understandably, by Giannis Antetokounmpo, because he believes it belongs to him after he set a franchise record and has a new career high. But the Pacers, they say potentially it belonged to their rookie who had his first official point. So Giannis takes off for the Pacers locker room, comes back to the court, is having a discussion with Lloyd Pierce, saying, yo, that's my ball. All right, let's hear from all parties involved.
I have the ball, but I don't know if it's a game ball. It doesn't feel like the game ball to me. It feels like a brand new ball. Like I can tell, from I played 35 minutes a day. I know how the game ball felt. The ball that I have, which I'll take and I'll give it to my mom for sure. But I don't know if it's actually the game balls. But it's okay.
They took the game ball, and that type of stuff happens in the NBA. When people get offended by how it happened. Maybe they felt like he should have been out of the game, and he was trying to get points or whatever, so they did something like that. They took the ball and said, our rookie scored his first NBA points, when it's like, this dude just scored 60.
It was Oscar Tshiebwe's first official NBA point, so we always get the game ball. We were not thinking about Giannis's franchise record, so we grabbed the ball, and a couple of minutes later, several of their players ended up in our hallway, and there was a big fracas, melee, whatever. I don't think any punches were landed, but my general manager got elbowed in the ribs by one of their players. He certainly has a bruised rib, and who knows, if it's anything more than that. I understand all that. But for it to come into the hallway didn't need to happen that way.
Oh my goodness. There is so much to unpack here. So we're going to take this from the NBA court to the NBA Today court. You can call me Judge Andrews. You can see who we have here. We're going to discover who was in the right, who was in the wrong, and what really went down after the final horn. Kendrick Perkins is here on behalf of the plaintiff, Giannis, and the Milwaukee Bucks. Zach Lowe is here representing the defense, the Indiana Pacers. And Brian Windhorst is serving as the jury over this proceeding. Kendrick Perkins, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
That's all I do.
Carry on. The floor is yours.
I have a problem. I played 14 years in the league, and Your Honor, Wendy, the juror, I would like to say I have never, ever heard of a rookie getting the ball after the game after scoring their first basket. And I believe he scored his first basket in the in-season tournament.
He did.
Right? At the free throw. Here we are right here. So here's the thing, right? We cannot disrespect a walking legend in Giannis Antetokounmpo after what he did.
So you're saying that on Saturday,
he did. Here go the evidence right here.
That you're presenting.
Yeah, this is a basket, right?
That is a basket.
Why didn't he get that ball?
Well, officially the stats don't count for that, but order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So look, I got more evidence.
Oh, you have more evidence?
Yeah, listen to what they say in the locker room. Now, I believe that was Miles Turner, right, that was speaking and saying that.
Hearsay!
He was in his feelings.
Order.
He was in his feelings because he didn't got the work from AD in the championship, and Giannis just gave him 64 all drumsticks, okay? So I'm making my case that when you have one of those games and hit a milestone, Giannis Antetokounmpo deserved that ball.
Thank you for your argument, Lawyer Perkins. Mr. Lowe.
As a wise man once said, Your Honor, deserve ain't got nothing to do with it. This is my case that the Indiana Pacers did nothing wrong here and are innocent and should be exonerated. Let's go to the video, please, if we could. My first piece of evidence, Your Honor, will be the ball itself. And where is the ball? Here the game is ending. Where's the ball? Here's the security guard, Danny Carter. He's coming. There's the game ball right here. He has the ball. We have established the Bucks have the game ball. That is now established. You see that? Everyone agrees with that.
I cannot confirm or deny my thoughts on this matter.
Then the next time we see a basketball, if we can go to my next piece of evidence, Your Honor, is Tyrese Halliburton or another ball that the Pacers now have possession of. I submit to you, we do not know if that is the same ball that this man was holding before, and unless we have chain of custody established, there is reasonable doubt that the Pacers have acquired the actual game ball. There are 2 game balls. Until we know that for sure, we cannot say the Pacers are guilty of pilfering the game ball from the Milwaukee Bucks. And as for Giannis Antetokounmpo, I would just like to point out, as gently as I could, Your Honor, Mr. Windhorst, how are you? You look very handsome.
No swaying the jury, no bribing the jury,
Apologies. This is not the first time that a living legend has had perhaps an over-the-top reaction to a bit of mundane post-game shenanigans. Here, what are we doing here? We're going to run. No. I let you say your piece, counselor.
Order.
We're going to run into the locker room like there's an emergency in there. We're going to start throwing elbows and yelling and cursing. Look at him. And do we remember this? I submit that we have a pattern of behavior here of overreaction to post-game incidents from Giannis Antetokounmpo. Watch the ladder. The ladder is not going to be there. There it goes. And so this is all I'm saying. Everybody can get a game ball. There are 2. Rick Carlisle said there are 2 game balls.
Please.
I just don't think that there's any clear evidence that the Pacers took the game ball. And they do give game balls. Dwayne Washington Jr., his first points as a rookie, the Pacers got that game ball and gave it to him and painted it up all nice. So we don't know which ball is who and where. And if we don't know, we must acquire.
So I ask the jury, Brian Windhorst, if beyond a reasonable doubt, Kendrick Perkins has proven that this should, in fact, the game ball should belong to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Your Honor, I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. First off, why are they wearing hats? I don't understand why they're wearing hats, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Your Honor, I am prepared to render the verdict. I hereby sentence the Bucks and the Pacers to play each other in the playoffs, because this would be a spectacular playoff series. This game had 8 technical fouls, a flagrant foul, an ejection, absurd childish behavior after the game, both sides making ridiculous situations. I say a plague on both their houses. Let's see it again come April.
Let's see it again come April.
I declare victory.
I am a judge
Mistrial.
for the people, by the
That's a
people.
mistrial.
I will carry out the jury's verdict here. But Kendrick Perkins, I ask you, because we will see the Milwaukee Bucks and Indiana Pacers play back-to-back, essentially, next month. Do you think that this is a turning point for the Milwaukee Bucks in the season?
Hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not. Look, they still have to get better on the perimeter. It took for Giannis to go for 64 just for them to even have to pull out that victory last night. Dame has been in a bit of a slump. They got to improve with their perimeter defense. Right now, Malik Beasley is just not cutting the mustard. Okay, he has to elevate on his part. And if you have elite young guards, you could beat the Milwaukee Bucks in any game in the regular season and in the postseason. They have a lot of them out there in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, we like to tell these kinds of stories, usually from an outcome
Really
that's already happened.
Exactly.
This game is not going to determine whether the Bucks beat the Philadelphia 76ers in the second round of the playoffs. They have a lot of structural issues to deal with, but a lot of their indicators are trending the right way. But I want to see those next 2 games. I'm with Brian. This is a rivalry, and it's awesome for the sport that 2 Midwestern small markets are going at each other like this with this fury. I love it. It's great for the game.
Brian, will this make an impact, these next 2 games, on your ruling?
Are there any secret tunnels in Fiserv Forum, Malika? You know that arena. We gotta find that out, because that's going to be important for the upcoming playoff series. Both of these teams, it's way too easy to get a good shot. You make one cut and one pass, and it's an easy shot for the other team. Neither of them are playing defense the way they need to play to be serious contenders. Really, what they need to work on is themselves. But I'm definitely looking forward to that New Year's Day and first week of the year, because I think both of those, I think we could see 150 to 140 game between these 2 teams.
January 1st, January 3rd, that's the next time we get to see these 2 teams go head-to-head. I kind of don't want to give up the gavel. I like it a little bit. Next time I'm going to have to go with the powdered wig,
So was
too.
this a mistrial?
No, Zach is the winner. Is that how it works?
I did.
I'm gonna
I
work
won.
on it. Still to come on NBA Today. What's next for the Golden State Warriors now that Draymond Green is...